even a good diet. I know some vegetarians, quote vegetarians, that have diabetes because they're overdoing it and they're substituting all of these fat-based vegetarian foods, but they drink the water the wrong way. They chug-a-lug. They're drinking 8, 10, 12 ounces. The body can only handle about 4 to 6 ounces at a time, every half an hour. Hi guys, this is Dr. Jim Sharps at the IIOM YouTube channel, and welcome to our IIOM YouTube channel. Getting a lot of good feedback from a lot of the postings that we've had to help improve your health and vitality. One of the topics that seems to keep coming up of importance is the subject of diabetes. A lot of people have some questions about it, and they're wondering if there are alternatives to meds and insulin. And I'm happy to reveal to you there are some really good remedies, first of all, to prevent it in the first place, and if you have it, to reverse it using dietary lifestyle protocols, what I call original medicine, the natural laws of health. So let's talk about what some of these remedies are. And you keep hearing me talk about these 8 laws of health. So let me put it in that context. And one of those 8 laws, obviously, is food. You get it from the wrong kind of a diet for where you are. Now, once you improve the function and integrity of your system, you might be able to indulge a little bit more. But the biggest issue is not so much sugar. And contrary to popular opinion, diabetes isn't just high sugar. Very low, fast dropping sugar is also diabetes, but it's because diabetes is basically an imbalance in your blood sugars. Now, the ones that most people are focused on and that they're taking the meds for, etc., is the high blood sugar. Now, a blood test is not the best indicator of whether or not you have diabetes, although I know they do this A1C and all of this other kind of stuff. There is a better approach, and it's RBTI, and looking at what your sugar numbers are there. But anyhow, just with diet alone, when you have a high-fat diet, one of the problems is when you have excess sugar, what happens? It converts it into fat. So if you already have a lot of fat, the body says, well, what? I don't need any more fat. So it just stays in there, and it kind of congests the system, and it impacts the oxygen flow through the body. And so that's why when you see long-term effect of diabetes, people have problems with the extremities, and they need their toes amputated, their foot working all the way up, I've seen all the way up to the knee, because the circulation is being impacted, and those extremities are what's impacted the most. Where those small capillaries are, it's not reaching out to the end. So you want to be on a low-fat, high complex carbohydrate. Complex, not refined sugars, because the complex carbohydrates have the fiber, etc. with it. The refined sugars, it just overloads the system, congests the system, and then that's what causes the inability of that oxygen to flow through. So if you're on a high complex carbohydrate diet, low fat diet, it will help quite a bit. Now, let me tell you a little tip. The other thing is, if you understand the circadian cycles, there's 3 circadian cycles, 3 8-hour periods, where the body is focused on either eliminating, which is the 4 a.m. to 12 noon, digesting your food from 12 noon to 8 p.m., and then assimilating the food, which means you're not digesting, you're not breaking down anymore, you're actually making new cells and tissue, etc., and doing all the housekeeping. That's the way the body is supposed to work. Now, if you understanding that, one of the implications of that is that digestive juices get progressively weaker after 2 p.m. So you should have your biggest and most complex meal between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. When do most people have their largest meal? They're working all day long, and then at night, and usually after 6 o'clock, they have these huge meals. And that's where the problem occurs a lot of times, without going through all of the biochemical impacts. But during that assimilation phase, if your body is trying to digest the food, it's working overtime because the digestive system takes up more energy than any of the other systems in the body, the nervous system, circulation system, etc. So it's working real hard. It's interrupting your sleep. And so the trick is, even if you took the same amount of calories, let's say you have a 3,000 calorie, 4,000 calorie diet, if you finish them all by 3 p.m., you're better off than having the bulk of it, 30 to 50, 60% of it at night, which is when most people have those high fat, very high concentrated meals, then with dessert. So you can see just by changing the timing of your meals, it helps quite a bit. So those are a couple of dietary, that's the nutrition part. So we talked about the high fat foods. Hydration is very important. And you want to drink as much water as you need for your height and weight. There's all kinds of rules basically saying you take 50% of your body weight and do that in ounces. There's better ways of doing it. You usually need somewhere between 30 to 50% of your body weight. For example, myself, with my diet, I only need about 30 to 40% of my body weight in water. But there's ways of measuring. RBTI will help you to determine what your particular requirement is, but at least a minimum usually of some 25, 30% of your body weight based on your exercise level, height, weight, and all the rest of that, and your diet. So if you're having herbal teas, broths, that does count towards your water content. But you want to get enough water, because what does the water do? The water kind of helps you to ride out. It dilutes, first of all, that excess buildup of sugar in the body, and it takes it out. That's why you find a lot of diabetics are actually thirsty, but they drink the water the wrong way. They chug-a-lug. They're drinking 8, 10, 12 ounces. The body can only handle about 4 to 6 ounces at a time, every half an hour. So you want to drink it systematically throughout the day. So that's the tip on water. So drinking the right amount of water and drinking the right amount of water in the right way. So there's two rights: right amount and right way. Okay, then exercise. Exercise, first of all, helps to reduce the fat content. So we talked about that in the first remedy with the high fat diet. So it helps with that, and it also helps to burn up that energy. You get your energy from carbohydrates. You don't get it from protein. Fat is a secondary source. So when you run out of the carbs, then it goes after the fat stores. And protein contributes little to zero to the energy. And now protein is very important in terms of the cell structure, etc. But it's the least important of the nutrients that you have to worry about. The first and most important are the carbohydrates, and then the fats and protein. But anyway, getting back to the exercise burns up that energy. So you don't need either systemic insulin and or other insulins, because you're using that energy that you have. So you don't want to be a couch potato. You want to get out there and do some exercise. And it doesn't have to be vigorous. You don't have to be a marathon runner or an ultra trainer. But even if you did 10 to 20 minutes, minimum 10 to 20 minutes, 3 to 5 days a week, you'd be amazed at how much that helps. Now, I talked about something that would help. Let's talk about some of the supplements that you can take. There's a couple of supplements that work really well. It's what I call original medicine insulin. And those two supplements are Momordica, also called bitter melon, and Gymnema sylvestri. Try to say that a few times and see if it rolls off the tongue. But they basically help with building and improving the insulin stores, and also the ability to break down and eliminate the sugar. So those are the natural herbal approaches. But then a food thing. Remember we talked about in the beginning about the food? Green drink is really, really good for diabetes. What is green drink? Green drink is basically greens, but you have it in a drink. And so you can make about 8 ounces or so, And it could be, you can put it in apple juice or pineapple juice. Now there's sugar in there, but stay tuned. Lemon water, you can even put it in tomato juice, pear juice. I usually use distilled water with maybe one of the juice concoctions that I make. And then what you want to put is at least 3 different types of leafy greens. Cilantro, collard, endive, romaine, parsley, any leafy green vegetables, spinach, escarole, watercress. You don't want any of the root vegetables or anything like that. You want at least 3 of those green vegetables, and then you want to blend that. And you want to blend it because you want the fiber also. And you can see now how putting it in that fruit juice with that fiber and those greens. Now, why the greens? The greens are mineral dense. So you're getting a full spectrum of minerals to improve the function and integrity of the entire system, including the liver, the pancreas, the making of the making and storing and the use of the insulin. So it helps to build that insulin, and it also provides the roughage. And so you can see how that green drink is actually a good natural supplement that you can have either 4 ounces before and during the meal. So that's another very, very powerful supplement, if you will, to help to build up the systemic integrity of that whole carbohydrate digestive capability in the body. And then you want to, another one of the laws of health. Well, let's talk about another one. One of the laws of health is temperance. It's also called moderation. And basically that's saying, do what is, avoid things that are harmful, and those things that are good, do in moderation. A very important law of health. So you don't want to overdo anything, even a good diet. I know some vegetarians, quote vegetarians, that have diabetes because they're overdoing it and they're substituting all of these fat-based vegetarian foods, vegetarian-oriented foods, too much olive oil, things of that. You're getting the idea. Maybe too much avocado, too much of the fatty foods, and not enough exercise. So we talked about the water, the food. Of course, sunlight basically improves the digestive function. Air, the fresh air gives you that oxygen availability to get that oxygen as you're thinning out the buildup from the congesting diet. So you can see the air, the water, the sunlight, the nutrition, the exercise, the rest we talked about. We talked about the temperance, and then of course trust in divine power. Our bodies belong to God. He designed the bodies, and he also designed the best approach for improving and maintaining its highest integrity. And he gave us plant foods. As a matter of fact, if you look at the King James Version of the Bible, Genesis 1:29, it basically says he gave us the seed-bearing plants, and then it says that will be your meat. So the Bible's definition of meat is plant foods, not flesh foods. And the other thing I remind people when they talk about all this protein that you need, the longest living and strongest animal on this planet are all vegetarians. Elephants, bulls, gorillas, and they don't eat chicken. They don't eat hamburgers and French fries. They eat grass. As a matter of fact, in my protein presentation, I have a picture of this big muscle-bound guy and a gorilla with a leaf in his hand. And it says, try to take this leaf out of my hand and I'll show you where I get my protein from. So just to give you some context, I'm not saying avoid it, but use it intelligently based on your requirements, based on your capacities. And many of us don't have any problem at all handling meat maybe 2-3 days a week, but the day in and day out and 3 meals a day, you can see the cumulative effect of that can be very problematic. So hopefully this gave you some good tips using those natural laws, those 8 laws of health, what we call original medicine, which, as I say, is the most powerful system known to man for preventing and reversing all chronic degenerative diseases. So hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, like us below and subscribe to our IIOM YouTube channel. We'll continue to show you how a lot of these named diseases are nothing more than names that they give for compromising those 8 laws of health. And information is power. And that's what we want to do on this IIOM YouTube channel. Empower you with the most powerful system known to man for preventing and reversing all chronic degenerative diseases, and to have you take more charge, take more of you managing us professionals rather than us managing and yin-yang you all over the place. So these laws of health is God's approach to educate you rather than medicate you. And then you will be able to add 15 to 30 productive years to your life. So hopefully that helps. Looking forward to your questions, your comments, and other issues you'd like us to cover on this YouTube channel. And also you might want to visit our school, www.iiomonline.org, where you can see the full spectrum of certificate, accredited certificate, and degree courses, from the bachelor's through the master's, doctorate, all the way to the PhD level, to for those of you who want to have various levels of being equipped and qualified with this most powerful system known to man. So hopefully this helps. As I said, keep in touch, and we're just looking forward to continue to provide you all kinds of tips and techniques. Oh, and let me just mention, we just announced our newly accredited RBTI OM certificate course. It's a practitioner course. When I say practitioner, the practitioner can be a housewife, it can be somebody managing their own home, all the way to basically managing a retreat, a full retreat, working with other 5, 10 people, etc. So that's our most recent announcement. We just announced it, and it just became available February 15th. So look at our website, and if you have any questions, let us know at info@iiomonline.org. So with that, I want to wish you all health, happiness, and God's richest blessings in all of your different endeavors and or ministries. And with that, I want to say bye for now. God bless.